Hello and good morning, everyone. Today, our group, the Duck Group, will be presenting our project called The Plastic Game. Our group members are Chester, Munkan, Andre, Josh, and Mew. Please enjoy.
Firstly, we would like to introduce you guys to our project, which is an interactive game based on the fact and informations relating to the overall impact of plastic to the environment, with the goal of providing both knowledge and better understanding, as well as fun and entertainment. We will also have extra video showing the practical ways to reduce plastic bottles instead of just trashing it. And lastly, we'll be including a short survey asking about general knowledge at the end.
So, for the objectives of this project, there are two main aims that we want to achieve here. So, the first one is to provide knowledge for the players to have them know more about the excessive use of plastic. And the second goal is, of course, to provide some entertainment for the players as well, and hope that they will have some enjoyment out of the um, interactive experience.
For the method section, our project is essentially divided into three parts. Firstly, the 10 game questions themselves. Then we have the plastic bottle DIY video. And lastly, there is the survey to evaluate the participants. For the target group, it's really simple due to the COVID-19 situation. We have decided to do everything online. So basically anyone with an internet connection, and the game and video is done completely in English. And mainly we will be sending this interactive game to our friends, family, and acquaintances. As mentioned before, the method of evaluation is a survey. We have completed a Google form, which takes approximately 2 minutes to complete. And the purpose of the survey is to inquire knowledge and the impact of our project on the participants. To achieve both our objectives, these are the steps we followed. For the first objective, we basically researched information and facts about the detrimental effects of plastic wastes and plastic pollution on the environment and on the animals. We also wanted to provide the audience with a solution, hence the DIY video. In this video, we gave multiple examples of how you can turn plastic bottles inside your homes into fun and functional household items. As for our second objective, to maximize entertainment, we basically put our researched information and facts into a game/Quizlet type format. We also made it very lively with colorful design for our younger audiences. For the video, we kept it very short at around 3 minutes and added in some relaxing music for the flow of the video. Next, we shall give you a brief walkthrough of our game.
Now, let's take a look at the game itself. The game is called Plastic Games, and the aim is to provide the uncommon knowledge about the usage of plastic to the participants. Let me demonstrate how. First, it is critical to know that the game is best played in the present mode of the PowerPoint presentation or Google Slides, whichever you prefer. The game is in the form of questionnaire and consists of 10 questions. First one, how many pieces of plastic end up in the ocean each day? If you then proceed to choose the right answer, it would then indicate that you have chosen correctly and provide you with a little fun fact for your knowledge. In this case, there's so much garbage in the ocean to the point where they've formed a massive island 3 times the size of France. You will then proceed to take on the next question. Question number 2. How many marine mammals die from plastic waste in the ocean each year? If you choose the incorrect answer, it will indicate that you have chose wrongly. Provide you with the right choice, in this case, 100,000, and a little fun fact for you, just like the previous question. You then proceed to do this 8 more times until you're done with the game. After you're done with the game, it will take you to the short DIY video about recycling plastic water bottles into fun and useful household items. Let's take a look at some of our projects. That was one of the example of our 3 projects. After you have watched the video, it will then proceed to take you to complete the short survey in order to measure how much impact we have created.
After finishing the game and clicking the link at the last slide, you will be taken to this Google form, which basically the first question will ask your age group, and then the following 3 questions will inquire about your knowledge about plastic. So the first question asks about your knowledge about plastic pollution you have prior to playing the game. The second question will basically ask how influential and how much the game has made the participant want to go out there and help the environment. The third question will ask how much knowledge they have gained from the info and facts presented in the game. The next question is about whether you are willing to try to recreate the household items from our DIY video. And finally, we ask if there are any suggestions for our project or basically any comments the participant would like to give. This question is optional. For the results section, this is our timeline. So basically in the first week, it can be called the research and planning week because that's basically what we did in researching information and facts and plan out the game and the survey. We also filmed the video. In the second week, we used all that information and planning and basically constructed the game, decorated and designed the game. And then we also edited and finished the video. We test ran the games a few times to check if there are any errors. In the third and final week, this is basically the finalizing week as we combined the video and the survey into the game. We shared the game online, hence the beginning of the data collection phase. It ran for 5 days in total from April 29th to May 3rd, and we received a total of 14 respondents. The following figures and graphs will show the results from the survey. So in terms of age groups, among the 14 responses, the majority of our participants were 18 to 25 years old. There were 8 participants there, and 4 participants were less than 18 years old, and 2 participants were between 25 to 30 years old, and none were older than 30. In the first graph, this shows how knowledgeable the participants are about plastic pollution prior to playing the game. The response shows 4s and 5s, meaning the participants are quite knowledgeable. The next graph shows how promotive and influential we are about caring about the environment. As you can see, there are only 4 and 5 responses, meaning we are quite promotive. In the last graph, this shows how much knowledge the participants have gained from playing the game. The replies are in 3, 4s, and 5s, meaning moderately knowledge gained and a lot of knowledge gained. In this last graph, it shows how willing the participants are to recreating the items from the DIY video. And 8 participants said they're willing and 6 said no, they are not willing. And these are the responses and comments we received.
Now, on the discussion part for the results, there's less participant than we intended. at only 14 in total, which makes the resulting data quite smaller than we have hoped. 57.1% belongs to the age group of 18 to 25, which represents the majority of the participant. Interestingly, it appears that most participants do have prior knowledge of the issues at hand and is willing to contribute. This is suggested by more than half willing to recycle the plastic bottles as shown in the video. For the work itself, our teamwork is very good. We were able to communicate effectively using online platforms, which we schedule times and split the work to be more efficient. We were able to follow the work timeline perfectly, and the product we make with the amount of time is very satisfactory. As for the limitations, like every group, we were limited by COVID-19 situations, which makes finding participants more difficult, hence the lower amount of data we have managed to gather. We also believe that if given more time, we can indeed collect more data. And for the benefits of the project, we believe that we have successfully provided both knowledge and entertainment as well as collecting interesting data. In doing this project, we have learned many things. We have learned to work with the limitations and constraints of COVID-19, as well as juggling time and effort with other subjects. Although it isn't easy, it is a good lesson which we have to learn and be ready for it in the future. We have learned many aspects of the environment and what role we played in it. Every little research we have done for this project, ranging from the ecosystems, the life in the planet, the people, the individuality of race, nations, and religion, the social aspect, the kin, and ultimately the self. But sadly, an only inkling of what we have researched has been shown to contribute to the overall time and efficiency. So it is safe to say that we have learned a lot.
And finally, we have reached the conclusion of this project. Again, this project is about creating a game about plastic use and publishing it online for players to learn more about the effects of our plastic usage and how it affects our environment. Though, quite unfortunately, we have acquired not as much participants as intended. The game had seemed to provide those who had played it with new facts about plastic use. If you can recall from the slides before and the data we have collected, people seem to have learned something from the game, which is pretty nice. So let's move on. In order to maximize the concept of the project, however, we challenge you to create your own version of the game, maybe on a different topic, say air pollution or water pollution. Maybe since we have like a bit of a theme of the ocean already, maybe like just expand on that part or something. Other than that, we feel like to even further expand the reach of our concept, we feel like a mobile version of the game may prove to be useful to help leverage our efforts. Maybe a creation of a full-on environment-themed game would be a nice concept to tackle.
Moving on to the acknowledgement section. We would like to mention and thank everyone who made this project possible, including our professors, our classmates, the participants in our game, and our teammates. Thank you.